to item 3.8, and we have speakers. First speaker will be Julie Waltz, and she'll be followed by Lyra Bishop. Lyra Bishop, come to the first row, please. Is Julie Waltz present? Okay. Pardon? I didn't hear you, ma'am. And you are? You're a bishop? All right. You set the clock for 6 minutes for Julie Waltz.
Good morning, honorable supervisors. It's been a long time. Haven't seen you guys since the David Allen Dokich protest. In regards to the Gilman Springs Road protest, as Bob Buster has already pointed out to you, we have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech and to protest in an orderly fashion. At times, protesters act inappropriately, and that's when law enforcement has to be called out to these protests, because we have laws on the books that need to be implemented to stop people from protesting if they act inappropriately. Now, the Church of Scientology, who has unlimited financial litigation resources, has approached the board and asked for an ordinance to be written to include the campus on the church property as a home. Also, it would apply to group homes and government official homes. And if a sex offender who worships children has a campus on church property, this ordinance would offer him the same. And it would also keep protesters away, 300 feet away, and that's the size of a football field. Supervisor Stone stated that this ordinance is on solid legal ground, upheld by courts and the Supreme Court. As stated in the I'm not pronouncing this correctly, Frisley versus Schultz, it also states in this case that the protesters were still able to march in the neighborhoods. So they were only stopped from protesting in front of that single residence, but they could still circle that residence. Okay, so to me, I think this ordinance is being very bullying the public. Because at the protest in Mead Valley, I remember the support shown by the supervisors, Bob Buster, Ashley, and Stone. I especially remember the day when John and Ken from KFI were there, and Supervisor Stone and Ashley spoke out against the sex offender placement. Okay, and then you also tried to write an ordinance, and that's how Jessica's Law came about, because it was brought to the people. Is this double standards on protesting? I don't think this is fair. Why do you choose to make this a double standard? Limiting protest to one special group is the start of a slippery slope. What makes the Church of Scientology more special than my constitutional rights? Who gave you the power to step on the most powerful piece of paper in the United States of America, our Constitution? We're all afforded equal rights and equal protection under the Constitution of the United States of America. I'm here today to urge you to rethink this ordinance. It's very unfair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Waltz. Susan Elliott will be the next speaker, and she'll be followed by Francois Choquette.
Hi, my name is Susan Elliott, and I took part in the protest against Scientology on November 26th. And after reading the description of us protesters in the newspaper and watching the supervisors meeting, it was clear that somehow our actions and motives have been grossly misrepresented. We were referred to several times as hate mongers. My frustration that this has occurred prompted me to attend this meeting and hopefully show that there are two sides to the story. My interest in protesting against Scientology, and especially the compound in Hemet, started out as simple curiosity. People should certainly be able to practice any religion that they want. But as I read more and more and even got to know ex-members and family of Scientology staff, I became alarmed at the apparent abuses that are taking place behind those walls. I have talked to ex-Scientologists who were housed at the Gold Compound and have since escaped, and their stories are alarming. They tell of being awakened in the middle of the night and pushed in the pool or lake as punishment, having their mail opened and their calls screened. They are not allowed to travel alone or have free ability to leave. Worst of all, there are stories of physical abuse, including being choked and punched in the face. These stories can be verified in blogs, affidavits, books, video, and many people, and they can be easily found by Googling Gold Base Beatings Scientology. But the greatest motivator for me as a mother is the friend I have made whose daughter is on Scientology staff. This friend has only seen her daughter 7 times in 15 years because the daughter is not allowed unmonitored phone calls, mail, visits, or even trips home for Christmas or funerals. When I talk to this friend, we both end up in tears at the end of the conversation because of the frustration and sadness she feels. My daughter's in college, and I can talk to her. She can't talk to her daughter in the same way, and it's been 15 years. Do I sound like a hate monger? I'm a mother of 2, a computer programmer who took off the day from work to be here. And it may be hard to believe these abuses are actually occurring because one has to ask, if it's so bad, why hasn't anyone stopped it? Well, the answer is 5 peaceful protesters tried to do their part, and the result was that 2 of the protesters were assaulted by Scientology guards, and the entire group was labeled hate mongers. Church of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard instructed over and over how critics should be attacked and silenced, and I believe that's what happened here. So this is the other side of the story. There is a court case that appears to be the impetus for the banning on protesting, yet this hasn't even started. Wouldn't it be better to find out the result of the case? Wouldn't it be better to research both sides before believing one side and not even speaking to the other? Please do not take away the people's right to free speech. Please do not take away the ability to protest the wrongs that exist in society that are somehow overlooked or ignored. The public should be able to warn others about a group or individual that might be causing harm. Thank you.
Thank you.